Hello there everyone, I am your German snob and I'm here with another episode of Let's Play Hitman Blood Money. Now in the last episode we killed all of the guards outside, which means that now we can go there without being attacked. Very good. Yeah, time to climb down the drain pipe. Oh yeah, that one. Sure. After all, we still have to assassinate the main target in this level. Find the door to the office, sure will. Now, this area here doesn't seem to be too large. Once again, it's all very restricted, I guess. Once again, it's kind of interesting in that it's basically the exact opposite of how the actual game is. But once again, tutorial, pick up the syringe. Wherever it there we are. Now, we will get two different syringes. This one obviously is the poison syringe. We also get just a syringe for sedatives later on. But well, I'm going to talk about that once we get there. Excuse me, I'm going to save here just to make sure. So yeah. Now this is something we can do. We can push enemies to kill them. This is actually something we are going to do fairly often later on. Now the next thing we have to do is to poison the secretary's drink. If this was the actual game, I would just use sedatives, seeing how every unnecessary body drives down your ranking. But right now we only have the poison, so we have to use that one. And now it's time to hide. Yes. It's time to hide in the closet and, well, watch our target's niece, I think she was, drink the poison. Well, so much for her. You could also use the poison syringe to kill enemies in a close range by just, ramming them up their neck while standing behind them. I'm sorry, got hiccups. There is almost never a reason to do so, seeing how the garrote wire works just as well, is just as silent, and is just as fast, but doesn't use up any resources, unlike the poison syringe, which you can use exactly twice. So that means you have to, you only have to use it when you want to poison food or drinks. And you will have to do that quite a lot. Well, you don't have to, but it's usually the best way. And there we have our target.
How are you? How'd you get in here? Carol Ann!
My client has hired me to show you this photograph.
I don't understand.
My client has asked me to ensure it's the last thing you ever see. Please, look at the photograph, Mr. Clarence.
No. Please. Haven't I suffered enough? Don't you think I know how much suffering I'm responsible for? I can't sleep. I haven't slept in...
Whatever. You know, the interesting thing is...
I'm so sore.
The interesting thing is that he's the only target in this game that is... Well, I might be wrong about that, but he's almost the only target that is ever made to be somewhat sympathetic. I mean, all the other contracts are going to be like, drug barons and human traffickers and, big-time gangsters. He's the only one who's actually really made to be you know, that one could almost feel sorry for him. Well, except some towards the end, but we are going to get there when we are going to get there. Now let's pick up the C4 that was just conveniently placed here. Here we go. Now those consist of the mine itself and the detonator. The detonator has a restricted range. You can in later missions buy a detonator with unlimited range, which can be quite useful. Because in other missions you buy the equipment before you actually start the mission. So let's climb in through the window, place the bomb on the winch to, well, kill their gang leader. So yeah, let's place that bomb. Then it's probably smart not to stand right next to the detonator. Or rather, right next to the bomb. Of course we have to keep the detonator on us. And then let's blow this all up. And so much for them. The boss, however, survived. So that means we have to kill him the old-fashioned way. Like that. Now, of course, most enemies are just going to take one bullet until they die. Seeing how this game does make at least a certain effort to be realistic in that regard. Hey, Desert Eagle. I mean, right now it's completely useless, but never mind. But none of the enemies in this game are real, how do you say, bullet sponges. But then if you get in too many gunfights, you're probably doing it wrong anyway. Seeing how this game is usually all about being undetected. Which really shows, because the enemy AI can't really hold itself in a gunfight. But never mind, mission solved. And that's a really neat feature about this game that I really like. Because, you know, whenever you solve a mission, you get a little newspaper article, which actually changes seeing how you solve the mission. So let's just read it. Joseph Clarence killed. Police suspect blood money is involved. Oh hey, it's the title of the game. Baltimore, Maryland, 10th of January 2004. Baltimore Police Department confirmed this morning that former theme park tycoon Joseph Clarence was killed at a closed theme park, Southland Amusement Park, last night. Mr. Clarence was believed to be the victim into a violent episode that caused 13 additional deaths. That changes depending on how many people you killed. Among the others killed was an innocent bystander. If anyone who was killed was not, well, essentially was innocent, was a civilian, it's going to be pointed out. I think that all the gangsters were counted as enemies, so I think it's the chick that we poisoned. 12 security professionals working for Mr. Clarence were also killed, which are probably, you know, the gangsters. Police tend to put a low priority on investigating the deaths of armed security and guard personnel. Investigators also report that 17 shots were fired by the assassin, judging from bullet holes and cartridges found on the crime scene. Once again, changes dynamically. A comparison of shots and the wounds on the victims has led to the assumption that the shooter is a talented marksman. Once again, changes seeing how many shots actually hit. Yeah, few shots were wasted. Residents in the area have reported that they heard a succession of what sounded like gunshots. Investigators found 9mm cartridges around the area, indicating that a pistol possibly of the type SLP-40 may have been used for murder. So yeah, the weapon is counted in there as well. It concerns the authorities that 6 of the victims were brutally executed by shots to the head. once again counts headshots. 2 of the victims were found dead in mysterious circumstances. I guess the poison? And maybe the one that we pushed over the balcony? Forensic scientists are now working to determine if the cause of death was natural or foul play. That's the accidents we caused. Once again, the guy falling to his death and... yeah, probably the poison. The discovery of several hidden bodies indicates that this is the work of a criminal. That's a pretty bad way to put it, but, you know. Baltimore Police Department are at the moment questioning a witness that escaped the scene alive. The witness... yeah, because that was probably that one woman that we didn't kill because she was just a civilian. Well, she was in company of the gangster boss, but she was counted as just a civilian, so I didn't kill her. Described the perpetrator as a chameleon because the person was caught trying to enter a restricted area wearing a disguise, which we have done. The police have absolutely no clue of the killer's appearance as nobody claims to have seen him or her. Okay. Joseph Clarence was one of the region's most colorful personalities in the 80s and 90s, which is not really all that important. So yeah, I really like this feature. I mean, theoretically it probably could have been implemented better, but you know, it's a nice effort. Also, the rest of the newspaper articles can be pretty funny. Some are just contributing to like the background story, like here, cold-blooded killers on the run. Then sometimes something more funny, I suppose. Kids' lemonade stand condemned and demolished. Why nose picking is the way to create a wisdom. And stuff like that. You can stop the video and read it if you want to. If you don't want to, that's okay too. So yeah. So, that was that. And seeing how we wrapped up the mission, I think this is a pretty good point to stop recording for today, even if it might be a shorter video. So as you all know, I am your German snob. This is a Let's Play Hitman Blood Money. And I'll be seeing you again, hopefully tomorrow. And until then, have a wonderful evening and goodbye.